Who is Kendall Jackson?
No, you just said my peoples. That's the only peoples I got on there.
It's Kendall Jackson. See, people hate now. We're back.
Kendall Jackson said we better talk about socially responsibility.
Facts.
Like correct.
Definitely did. We are back. It's the Speakeasy. I'm one half of the Speakeasy. Sophisticated Savage, EJ Stewart, here with my special guest, Dr. Jermaine Smith. Don McKay is producing the show. As usual, we are at www.radioonfire.com, live out of Baltimore, Maryland. Man, it is the BMA season. It's the Baltimore Music Awards season. Please, 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 if you want your voice to be heard, what are you doing, Don McKay? What's going on?
Use that one.
Use it. This is the one I'm used to, right?
Not that one. Use that one.
Which one?
The one that's further back.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still getting this.
Okay, I'm just learning this for the first time. So this is
so why y'all get that together?
That is the one. That is the one I use. This is not the one I use.
So everyone that's doing this is my
Shut
first
up,
time.
fool. Back to what I was saying. I was you damn right. I was getting my charger back in order, but as I was saying, man, the Baltimore Music Awards 2017 started 2010. This is the 7th annual.
Word.
Keep it popping. Keep it popping, man. Get on there, BaltimoreMusicAwards.com. It's a lot of talent in Baltimore. Don McKay, Radio on Fire, The Man That Never Sleeps. Follow him at the Don McKay Williams Morning Show. And Nikki is she's here. She has her own chair now. And I mean, it's personalized. It's pink. Nikki doesn't sleep either. We're at a new location. I just want to address this real quick. We had a new location, and there's a lot more different cultural neighbors. They speak a lot. You know, when I'm waiting outside, we say, "Hey, man, how you doing?"
I'm great.
And one today was like, "Hey, I think you got to give this guy down there." I said, "Thanks." Keep it going.
Exact words. He said, "Hey."
Doesn't matter. No, we're not gonna say the exact.
Hey,
no.
His exact word was, "Hey, I have this right here." So EJ said, "Well,"
I took it. I said, "Fuck it." What was it? It was what I gave you earlier.
Okay.
And I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna take it." I don't know what it is, but fuck it. You bold enough. You bold enough to give it to me.
Look, man. Look, he was giving out coupons, man. Like that Sunday paper coupon that we've been trying to get, for the.
You know what? Actually, and it's funny that you say that. I know that
I'm trying to coupon. Yo, shout out to my mother because she keeps telling me to coupon.
No, I do that. I shop that way.
That's the father of 3
Speaking
kids
of shopping,
I shop that way.
Let's get to this topic. I'm very anxious because he's this
the national
serious
anthem,
conversation.
The national anthem and the Constitution. So Dr. Jermaine Smith is going to address the national anthem and the Constitution. Are you ready?
Well, Jermaine is going to address.
Just get to the shit before we fight. Go ahead. What are you gonna do? What are you talking about?
Something. It sounds like he's gonna beat me up.
No. I can't say.
I'm so sorry.
I can't say I could do that so easily
I'm not gonna
these days.
Number one, I'm not gonna sing because my singing, is only
horrible.
No, number one, I could sing better than anyone in the U.S. I'm lying, but
so the national anthem.
The national anthem.
Right.
So
God
a lot
bless
of people,
America.
Yeah, God bless America. Donald Trump, right? That's what you're saying.
Agent 45 is what we call him on this show.
Agent 45.
Agent Orange or Agent 45.
So just like James Bond.
No. I mean Agent 45.
All right, so I'm just gonna cut him off, and I'm gonna read the third verse of this national anthem.
You foul.
So in the third verse, because it took a while, like I read it and it really messed me up. Said, "And where is that band who so valiantly swore that havoc, that reek of war, and the battle's confusion, a home and a country shall leave us no more.
Okay.
Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and the slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. In the star-spangled banner and the triumph doth wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave."
But get to something else because that was cool.
Look, no one ever knows what.
Yeah, let's unpack that a little.
Unpack that. Oh, I like that.
Yo,
that's higher education terminology.
It is.
We gotta unwrap this.
Let's unpack that.
We have
so
some
can you unpack that?
We gotta unwrap this.
But unpack that. Go ahead.
All right, so one of the first scholars that tried to unpack this because, like, number one, back in the day,
Are you referencing somebody else?
Yeah, I'm referencing.
All right, go ahead. Do it.
Reference myself.
Get to it.
Because back in the day, I think they wrote with feathers, you know, and stuff like that.
Felted pens and stuff like that. Can you get to it, right, Jersey man?
So this is what a scholar said. He said, in other words, Key was saying that the blood of all the former slaves and hirelings on the battlefield was washed away the pollution of the British invaders. With Key still bitter that some black soldiers got the best of him a few weeks earlier, the Star-Spangled Banner is as much a patriotic song as a diss track to black people who had the audacity to fight for their freedom. Perhaps that is why it took almost 100 years for that song to become the national anthem.
Okay, so I mean, just to get away,
that's not what he had in mind when he wrote it.
Absolutely not.
It wasn't about the land being free. It wasn't about us winning.
Francis Scott Key wasn't even a native to this land.
Yo, he wasn't, but that's like when 50 dissed Ja Rule, when Ja Rule's doing all the singing, right?
What?
When Ja Rule was saying, "Oh," and like Ja Rule's doing all that.
50 where would I be without you?
And 50 said, it's like coming to a song and he don't come out like somebody don't come out singing.
See, I got defend 50. He never said you can't sing. What he always said was Ja Rule. No, check the record books. What 50 always said was, it's not about singing. He said Ja Rule can't sing. Sing for hoes sound like the Cookie Monster. But, he always said Ja Rule can't sing.
We're not on that. But we're not on that. We're going to talk about
using an analogy. I just got to defend one of my rappers, one of my guys. I low key managed 50 in my past life. Yeah, but read us the other thing.
So another historian.
That would make me Chris Lighty on the low. My past life, but nah, I ain't old enough for that. I was alive.
So the story behind that, when he said, you know, it was a slight towards black soldiers and, you know, black slaves who actually fought. So the historians, Robin Blackburn, Alan Taylor, they actually said there was 2 units of black slaves recruited between 1808 and 1816 to fight for the British on the promise of gaining their freedom. And they said, like so many other compatriots, Francis Scott Key, a wealthy American lawyer who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner in the wake of the Battle of Fort McHenry on the 14th of September, 1814, was a slaveholder who believed that blacks to be a distinct and inferior race of people, which all experience proves to be the greatest evil that afflicts the community. This is what he said. This is what Francis Scott Key said, the guy who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner. This is the 3rd verse. And it said, it goes without saying that Key did not have the enslaved black population of America in mind when he penned the words land of the free. So it said it would be logical to assume as well that he might have harbored a special resentment toward the African Americans who fought against the United States on behalf of the king. So let's go, but let's get this all together. So when you sit there and we talk about, you know, Colin Kaepernick, we talk about the players, we talk about Jerry Jones, we're talking about Francis Scott Key, we're talking about the Star-Spangled Banner, we're talking about the anthem. Let's put it all together. I'm gonna try to put it together for you. You know, and help me out when I get you know, off topic.
Yes, that's what I'm here for.
Good job. So when you have all those different things, that person that doesn't value the black life, the African American male, the African American female, when you have all of that going on in his head when he writes this anthem in the United States, the same people that we are today actually saying you don't disrespect our anthem, but the man who actually wrote it, you know, wrote that against African Americans who wanted the same freedoms that everyone else was getting. So when you saying we giving people freedom, we're not giving it to you. When we give this person freedom, we're not giving it to you. When we say you could stand up and yell and run, EJ, we're not giving it to you. So now, when you bring that 3rd verse back in there, and you bring this back up to present day, do you think black players should stand up? Because when you bring that stanza right there, when I say no reference for you that fought, you fought for your freedom. The freedom of this Constitution that they've been talking about, the freedom of speech. When you fought for that,
Big Pun said the First Amendment is culturally biased.
Exactly. You can't tell
Shout
me.
out to Big Pun.
You can't tell me that. You can't tell me as an African American man that when I sit there, if I went and fought for my country, And I fought for this same freedom of speech that everyone else was given. Because when you look at the Constitution, everything comes with a if, and, or but.
Yeah.
But
it's a lawyer's paradise.
Exactly. So if you sit there and you fight for this, and then one of your grandchildren, Colin Kaepernick's grandchildren, the grandson or the son or the nephew of someone that fought in the armed forces. So when you sit there and you fight for those same rights, and then Colin Kaepernick exercised those rights, and you tell him you wrong for exercising those rights, then who's more wrong? Him for taking a knee or you for fighting for this country? Because if I fight for this country to protect that, and my son or my nephew or my cousin can't exercise it, I'm wrong for fighting for you. I'm wrong. And that's what you got to look at. Because now
what about the people that would say, and even some white people that would say that they don't know about that part that you're talking about, and they just know that first paragraph, which is the paragraph that was taught. They would say that they didn't know about that part, and they don't focus on that part. They don't consider that part
I would say knowing and understanding versus not knowing and choosing not to understand is a difference. If the research is there, the evidence is there. If you choose to remain ignorant, like some of our leaders said, your passive aggressive nature towards injustice is an injustice of itself. So if you don't acknowledge that there's a problem in itself, you are enabling people to further the injustice. Now, I'm gonna be real, because I'm a social worker. I work with people. There are few, far in between, many people that have to work with people no matter where they come from and who they are. I have to meet somebody where they are. And the reality is, a lot of motherfuckers out here, they're not worried about shit that don't affect them. That's human nature. Like if I seen a brother get snuffed or beat up on World Star, I watched a rapper get jumped on World Star. I wasn't there. He's not my man. It doesn't affect me. I don't like it, but it doesn't affect me. Reality is, man, we as a people, these are issues that face us, right?
Yeah.
Until we make it a relevant, tangible, actionable issue that we can't let go until we rest, it's a problem.
So let me say this. To go back to what you asked, what about those people that don't know? And when we say people that don't know, what do we call them? Ignorant. Like you don't know because
some people take ignorant as
ignorant.
a diss.
It's ignorant. It's
ignorant. You ignorant to what's going on.
So when let's retract, when we go to what ignorant was, what they used to call black people.
Niggers.
There you go. What does nigga mean? And if you want, you could go Spanish on you because you like to have your Spanish thing going on.
No.
But they said like nigga was ignorant.
Right.
And that was a person, that didn't, take the time to, research and actually, not just research it, but sit there and understand it. And they just actually put their feelings into it. Because when you come to the table and anything that's racially, charged, you always have to come to the table without emotions. You gotta come to the table. You gotta come to the table and you gotta hear.
Well, you're also speaking from a black male perspective, because black males are never afforded the opportunity to be emotional. We're never afforded. Like I literally just got on Cam Newton the other day because I've been a Cam Newton defender since day one. But him walking out on this last interview was kind of bitch made to me. But at the same time, I respect his emotional temperament. But as black males, we are public enemy number one. That's a fact.
Well,
physically, mentally, and emotionally, and we're not allowed to be or show emotions.
So my favorite group, one of my favorite rap groups is Public Enemy and Chuck D.
Strong Island, Roosevelt, New York.
I made a mistake.
Yeah, goddamn right.
I just made a mistake introducing.
Big it up.
But what I will say, the information is out there if you want it. Because this not back in the day when you had to go sit in the library and grab a book and then go through 200 pages and then find something, then copy it or transcribe it or write it out. The information is there. You got. I could type it in Google right now and I could get 500 different hits on something. So when I hear, people You know, not us. You know, but when I hear people who say, "Oh, I didn't know about that," and they use that as an excuse,
It's a crutch.
and exactly.
You didn't want to know.
You didn't want to know.
But that goes for black and white alike.
Remember in football, what coach you say? Are you hurt or you injured? Are you hurt or you injured? Because if you're hurt, that means you can play.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get out there. If you're injured, you're done.
But that goes to black and white alike.
But you know what that is? America is not injured. America is hurt. And that's why you have people from the other side and people that's not like us saying, "Oh, I can't believe this is happening," because they're hurt. Because their feelings are hurt. Their minds are hurt because they can't fathom everything that's going on. So America is hurt. We're not injured. We're just hurt. We actually got to start listening to.
What do we hurt about?
So we hurt that, you know, you got a lot of people, you know, who aren't racist, who actually waking up to this day and saying, "Oh,
they're just oblivious,"
and waking up and saying, "Oh,
because
they were ignorant.
They've chosen to be ignorant. Yeah,
they've been ignorant. I'm gonna take it even further. They niggas. You got,
but it may not be any malice involved.
Exactly.
It just
ignorant. They're oblivious.
Don't know.
They're waking up and they're saying to themselves, "I didn't know," and they really.
Why would you know?
Because you know you wouldn't know. But I'm saying that America isn't injured. See, injury is that if you understood it and I didn't understand it, and I actually had no way of understanding it, I could never see it. And I was just so blindsided by everything. And you hit me with the reality of everything that's going on. And I said, "Oh, Junk, I didn't see this. I don't know what you're talking about because it's not available to me." Then I'll be injured. Now you hit me now today. I can say, "Man, should I pick up my smartphone?"
I'll be like, "John, go look it up."
Exactly.
And you look it up and you find out. Now you hurt.
1 second later.
That's a damn good analogy, my brother.
Now you hurt.
But focusing down.
Okay.
Focusing down, because that goes to black and white alike, right? So, in line with what some of your topics were, black on black support.
Hold on. Before you go there, let me ask a question.
Oh, got some questions?
You go there. Yeah, I got a question.
Okay.
So, as far as the Star Spangled Banner, should we be angry about it? Why? I don't know if we should, because if you look at any of the documents that the founding fathers created, they're all messed up.
Anti-black.
Yeah, they're all so the basis of this nation is the foundation is anti-black.
Everything.
So if we pick and choose and say the song, you know, or we go into the Constitution,
First Amendment.
Slavery is mentioned in the Constitution.
Yep.
And it wasn't. It doesn't necessarily say that it's allowed or prohibited, but it is referenced in there.
Right.
And so when they talk about voting process, slaves were counted as 3/5 of a person.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Less than a man.
Is so vile.
That's crazy.
It's so vile.
And that's like
disgusting.
deep. That's like deep to try to say, you know, you are not even an equal person.
But you're less than an animal.
So let's say. So
Go ahead.
I think on this one, and I love that you asked that. So
wait, before you look at the factuals,
I'm not gonna look at the factuals right now.
Address what he said. Should you be mad?
So should we? I mean, because because it's just a song.
I'll say that.
And we won't even sing that verse, right? But the basis of this country, the foundation of where
patriarch
black soldiers go
the
and fight
patriarch bone of this country is represented in that song. So, Ja, how you feel about that?
So,
get to the mic.
And I love this. Oh, my bad, because you can keep telling me to get to the mic, but that's terrible.
Flagrant. Flagrant.
Yes. That's so flagrant.
Flagrant.
Like I'm sorry. Messed up, you know.
Flagrant. Go ahead.
Nah, but when you think about it, like, I'm not mad at the anthem. I'm not mad at the national anthem. I'm not mad at the flag. I'm not mad at Francis Scott Key. I'm not mad at any of that because it was written. That's something that we all see. And one thing I've learned to do is actually look at everything that comes along with it. This country, the Constitution, all these amendments, and based on shit that these dudes didn't even believe. They actually sat there, they wrote them, and you had people that opposed to them, but being that it was so many other people that sat there and voted against them, they had no word. And actually, I got something that's interesting.
Yeah, do it.
Ben Franklin. You see, you led me into this. Oh God, I like this show, man. I need to start coming here more often.
Nah, fuck you.
So Ben Franklin,
For the record, fuck
one
you.
of the founding fathers of the Constitution. He actually said we don't need a one president, thing going. We actually need a 3-person presidential committee rather than having a single president. And this is what he said: the government is like to be well administered for a course of a couple of years, and then can only end in despotism. And I'm gonna tell you what despotism is. Despotism.
Yeah.
Despotism. It says the exercise of absolute power, especially in a cruel and oppressive way.
That's despotism. Yes.
And that right there is what we're going through right now.
With Donald
Trump.
Was what we've always gone through.
Exercised.
We've always gone through that.
Absolute power.
We just now getting smacked in the face with it.
Now it's hitting us because guess what? Because us as people, us as black people,
the black people,
because when
common
Obama
people.
was in there, it was administered great for a couple of years, and then boom, we got Donald Trump.
But even with Obama,
wait. And then he also said this: our Constitution is actual operation. It's actual operation. Everything appears to promise that it will last, but in the world, nothing is certain but death and taxes. So and what we getting from us?
Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
Hey, listen. Hey, you know what?
He was a wise man.
Yeah.
He had a lot of chicks.
Look,
did he?
Look. He said, look.
He
said, all this is an operation. Like we wrote this.
But you know who else?
Don't take it literally.
You know who else said? You know who else said about death and taxes? Marvin Gaye.
No, exactly. But listen to this. But even go back to listen. How many amendments do we have? I can't even keep count. And then, matter of fact, they make amendments to amendments. So when you make an amendment to amendment, so like he said, Ben Franklin said in the very beginning, when they wrote this Constitution, that the U.S. we hold this so high, everything that we need. They say it's the Constitution, it's Constitution, and then they start taking it from people.
But we know strategically.
Only thing promised that
is
death and taxes.
I want to flip something else. I want to flip something else. No, Marvin Gaye even talked about that. But I wanna switch to something else. We're going to black culture.
How often do we get to talk about the Constitution?
Exactly.
It's all good. We can switch.
No. Because we didn't talk about buying black. We ain't getting on all this stuff. I gotta,
I'll come back. Look, I'll come back to the show.
It's rare. It's rare that I get to sit and converse with another history person. It's very rare.
I'm a history person.
Man, for real, I ain't know that. You don't know you, man.
When I say historically, the NFL, I say it all the time.
Well, let me say this before you go on. Can I please be invited back to the show?
No, fuck you.
Damn, that's messed up.
I've been inviting you forever. No, of course. You gotta relax. Dinner, relax. You gotta relax.
Fried chicken wings.
All right, we make that happen.
That's what I'm telling you. Yeah. We going to Maxie's, baby. We going to Maxie's.
And Maxie's is why black owned.
You gotta support
black management. Shout out to Maxie's on Charles Street. Shout out to Young Cam, Maxie's. People that take care of us.
Read that number 2 on there.
Before
we go into the black.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it real quickly. Today's broadcast. And I've been saying this all day long. And I'm with RadioOnFire.com.